Is Will going to be the main character of Season 5? What is going to happen to Max? And will 11 survive the epic fight that lies ahead at the end of Stranger Things? Keep watching to find out. Going back to square one. It all started with Will in Season 1, and it all ends with him in Season 5. After the hint at Season 5, it's pretty safe to say that the next season is going to be Will-centric. And it has been a long time coming. He's been pushed into the background, so it's about time that Will steps out into the spotlight again. He was the first victim that got dragged to the Upside Down in 1983, and next we'll see how it ends with him. We also need to find out why he was the one that happened to be trapped in the Upside Down. And it would be great to find out why Will does have a sixth sense for sensing Mind Flayer. If it really just left a mark on Will back in Season 1, or if there is something that has been bubbling in Will this entire time and is about to come out in Season 5. The fandom has been hoping for years that Will is gonna gain powers. We just have to wait and see what that means for Will and the gang, as Mind Flayer is literally gathering above Hawkins at the end of Season 4. After being separated from the party, feeling constantly alone and having struggles with his sexuality, it wouldn't be hard for Vecna to strike again, attacking the ton of sour and sad memories Will has. There is no way we won't cry at the end of Season 5. Vecna's new vessel. After probably the most epic fight sequence in Episode 9, soundtracked by the anthem of this season, which is Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush, we saw Max nearly succumb to Vecna's powers. On top of the broken limbs, she also said to Lucas, "I can't feel or see anything," with her being blinded. It was Elle that came to her own senses at the very last minute so that she could snap against Vecna and therefore save Max. In the hospital scene, Lucas said that Max's brain stopped working for a whole minute before it came back, and even that is thanks to Elle, who reminded all her happy memories to her. But as Elle enters Max's brain in the hospital, she's met with a complete void, even without Max herself. That leads many viewers to think that Max is in fact brain dead. In some way, Vecna had to consume Max. Remember the 4 clock strikes, the 4 sacrifices for it to open the gates in Hawkins? Despite some people guessing that the last soul could have been Eddie, the truth is that he had no connection to Vecna. It was Max who set the things in motion, the beginning of the end. It's safe to say that when she survived, Vecna only took her consciousness, which he might use in his advance. Many people are guessing that he will partly give Max her consciousness back so that he can turn her into a spy and listen to what the gang is planning. That would create a special connection between Vecna and Max, just like Will has with the Mind Flayer. Since the gang are the only people in Hawkins who can actively stop Vecna, it would give him an upper hand to hear their ideas right away with Max being present. Another theory talks about her being comatose until the gang defeats Vecna. Defeating him would mean Max would get her soul back, as it seems like Vecna has trapped it. Getting Max's soul back would also mean reversing all that has happened to Hawkins in the last episode. As Vecna would no longer have the 4 souls, there is a possibility the gates could close. The talisman. For a hot minute, it really seemed like we were watching Max's final moments in the 9th episode. However, things took a turn. Even though her arms and legs were broken and she got blinded, she still survived, which left her in a coma, from which we have no idea if she'll ever wake up. However, there are hints that she will. The main hint comes from the scene where Lucas reads a book to her out loud in the hospital. He was reading her a book called The Talisman by Stephen King. This book focuses on the story of Jack Sawyer, who is looking for a special crystal called the Talisman. He goes through a fictional land called the Territories, which is an alternate universe parallel to the USA. In the Territories, there are twinners, who are parallel versions of everyone living in the normal world. There's a rare group of people that may pass away in one world but not in the other. They are called single-natured and can flip between the worlds, their other body and their soul. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Many people think that even though Max might be brain dead in this world, she could have flipped into Upside Down. She was the only one who knew how to fight Vecna, how to run away from him, so her coming up with something off-screen wouldn't be so wild to imagine. This theory also gives hope to all Eddie Munson lovers out there. If Max is dead in the normal world, but there is a possibility that she is alive in the Upside Down, there could be a chance that one of 2 Eddie's versions died during the epic fight with the bats, while the other one is still alive somewhere. This might seem like grasping at straws, however, we are not the only ones. Joseph Quinn, who plays Eddie, said in an interview, "I'll be furious if they don't bring me back. I'd love to, if they'll have me. But since we fully saw saw him pass away in Dustin's arms, let's just say for now that he has joined the club of Gone Too Soon with Barb, Alexei, Bob and Billy. Time jump. One thing about having a teen cast and filming them for years is the inevitability of a time jump. As all of the main cast went through puberty, they no longer look like high schoolers. That leads us to the thing that many people are raising eyebrows over, the time skip. Even one of the creators of the show, Ross Duffer, commented on this. I'm not sure we'll do a time jump. Ideally, we'd have shot seasons 4 and 5 back to back, but there was just no feasible way to do that. The time skip seemed plausible before we all saw the ending of season 4. How are we expected to believe that there will be a time skip with the Mind Flayer literally looming above their heads? It would be nice to have a time skip in the show since the actors would look more accurate to their time-skipped age, but it just wouldn't make sense plot-wise. The time skip of 2 days later already caught everyone off guard, as we didn't even see how Elle defeated Vecna. Or we didn't get to see Steve, Robin and Nancy mourning Eddie. The cliffhanger in the last episode is set to put characters in immediate danger as the Upside Down starts fully seeping into the real world. Either some major things happened off camera and will be filled in later through one of the characters retelling it, or season 5 will come swinging right off the bat. The final sacrifice. Just like with Will, we are coming back to where we started. After season 4, we know that Elle was the one who destroyed Henry in the first place, and therefore banished him from the Upside Down. Now, with all the portals connecting and disrupting reality, it's time for Elle's final battle. She has hurt Vecna, but just like Will said, Vecna is not gone, just hurt. Dr. Brenner might have been right that she wasn't fully ready for the final epic fight, as that is only coming. We hope that when Elle gets faced with Vecna and the Mind Flayer next time, she will be prepared, and so will the rest of the gang. But people think that once she ends Vecna and the Mind Flayer, she might not make it out alive from the fight. When she destroyed Henry, she fell into a coma and had to regain her powers. When she defeated the tangible version of the Mind Flayer in season 3, she also became incredibly weak and lost all her powers. So, with the final season, there's no guarantee that she will make it, as she will have to give her all to destroy the evils of Upside Down. People are expecting her to defeat the evils and save all her friends and Hawkins, but at the price of her own life. We would love to see Elle thrive at the end of season 5, but there's a huge chance one of the main characters won't survive the epic final fight. Potential release date. Even though season 4 just ended, we're already hungry for more. It's time for the epic finale after years of waiting for it, so it truly can't come fast enough. Season 4 was supposed to come out sooner, but due to the pandemic, the production had to be shut down and the filming got postponed. Matt Duffer, one of the creators, said, "I'm not sure we're ready to say yet a start date for shooting season 5, but a lot of it is pretty well mapped out. All we can do is cross our fingers and hope that the plans won't change." Another thing that's tricky with Stranger Things is the amount of VFX work that has to be done. With volume 2 of season 4, the final VFX edits were still being uploaded as the show was premiering on Netflix, causing the streaming platform to crash for a few minutes. Expecting the most epic fight of them all, and considering how much time the editing takes, the 5th and final season should arrive in the first half of 2024. What do you expect from season 5? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.